Welcome to Leading Voices by GSF. Here I am, your fellow speaker, Antoni Lacinai, and today I have with me from MAPS, Malaysian Association of Professional Speakers, Jega Manoharan. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you got that right.
Very welcome, Jega. How are you?
I'm well, Anthony. How are you doing?
I'm doing well as well, thank you. You are the representative of MAPS in the GSF organization, correct?
Yes, correct. I was the former president about 10 years ago. So still been a very active member of MAPS. And this year I have taken the leadership from Johan, who was the former representative, also a former president. So we sort of like, it's been a tradition where we send all the past presidents to become representatives for MAPS at GSF.
Thank you for your service. Very good. So we did have a session way earlier about your association, but with your words, tell us what is the best thing about the Malaysian Association?
Okay, one thing I like about the association is that it is a group of very professional people. In other words, willing to share. We all come together with that thought process that this is a safe space, this is a good community. You can openly share what you do, and we have sort of this understanding among one another that we will not take away your content or material, but we can always share the process. So it has been very much the original spirit of speakers associations. That is, we come together to share our best practices, and we can learn from one another. In fact, we have questions we can ask sometimes about going international. What are certain do's and don'ts in some country? Like recently, I've just got a gig in one particular country, and I was asking about this thing called the withholding tax. What is the withholding tax, and how do you go about this withholding tax? Because different countries have different tax systems. So it becomes a very positive hub for us to share information and learn from one another so that we can just reduce the mistakes that we probably would do if we were to do it all by ourselves.
The generosity is all over the place, even in Malaysia, even in Sweden, in all places, I would guess. But tell us more, like what are your communication channels that you use in order to help each other out?
Okay, currently we are very active on WhatsApp. So it used to be Facebook, but sometimes it's a little slow with the Facebook group. So we found WhatsApp to be widely used in this region. In fact, among many of our friends who are overseas, after visiting Malaysia or part of Asia, they found that WhatsApp groups are very useful. So WhatsApp is the primary source of us asking questions. So we have two WhatsApp groups here. One is for the members, and then another WhatsApp group, which we call the MAPS fraternity. So MAPS fraternity are basically people who have actually attended one event in MAPS, and they like to be in it. They like to see what's going on, but they're not ready to become a member yet. So we put them into the fraternity. So sometimes some people who have not renewed their membership, they can still remain in the fraternity. They can still get updates of what's happening. But membership group is where the real discussions happen. So when it comes to announcement of our programs, our events, WhatsApp is the primary source. We put them on both the channels. So sometimes people who do not want to be members, we have this situation here that sometimes people don't want to be members, but they don't mind paying a little higher and attending a monthly event. So we still welcome them. And eventually, our hope is that they will become members of the association.
So a couple of things to unpack there. Monthly events, two different WhatsApp group. I'm going to start with the WhatsApp groups here. How well do you cultivate or curate both of those WhatsApp groups? It sounds like one of them is active, the other one is more, well, not passive perhaps, but how well do you handle that second group then?
Okay, all right. That's sometimes a challenge because what happens in WhatsApp group is that we have very strict rules on the WhatsApp group. In other words, no promotion of your personal events, The only promotion is MAPS and GSF events. And usually that's done with the executive committee or the admins in that group. You're right. It's not an easy process, especially when we have to politely tell members, hey, you can't do this in this group. You can't promote your personal programs or events in the group. And some people accept it, some people don't accept it. But one thing I like about our executive committee, and we have sort of an agreement among the leadership team, even with the past president, is that there's enough people who believe that let's keep this a healthy place. It's a place where we can update one another, because what happens, I have been part of groups which are originally started off as a community group, and then it becomes a spam group. Everybody posts things, what they are doing. And what's even worse is sometimes people put up social media posts and they put that link into those groups with the hope of getting an engagement, and that's really not very healthy. So the good thing about in MAPS is that I think we have passed that phase, and right now we are in a very matured phase where all our members understand that purpose of having that channel, because we don't make we don't make the group in a way where only the admins can post. That's a broadcast group. We allow for people to have conversation, and by that means, I think it seems to be working well. People respect that rules in the group pretty well.
Yeah, the local organization or association I'm part of, we do have two Facebook groups instead. We find it really challenging to handle the second one, the one where we have non-members as well. So that's also why I asked, and I know that there might be other ones as well who have the same issue. Monthly event, you said, are those in person, virtual? What are they?
It used to be all in person. Thanks to COVID, it introduced us to this virtual world as well. So we do have a good mix. A lot of the monthly events are happening virtual now. This allows our members who are in different states, because Malaysia relatively is a small country compared to to the US or India or Australia, but geographically people are still located in different places, and we wanted our members to benefit regardless of whether you're not in Kuala Lumpur, you are in Penang, or you are in Sabah or Sarawak. You should still be able to benefit from it. So the current executive committee emphasized quite a bit in virtual sessions, and we do have in-person session that probably happens like once in every quarter, maybe. And sometimes we do have visitors who are coming from different countries. So if you're part of GSF and you're making a trip down to Malaysia on you're going to come down in about 2-3 months down the road, do get in touch with us and tell us that you're coming over. You're going to have a gig in Kuala Lumpur, and we would love to host you. If the time sort of coincides with when we are having our event, it'll be nice to actually have some of our foreign friends to come. Basically, this would serve a purpose of us to understand how are things in a different geography. So we have learned from our Malaysian counterparts here. We learned from our Singapore friends, but how are things in other parts of the world? How are things in maybe in Europe? And even Europe, it's not a single country. A different country have different
No, it's
norms,
not. It's true. Yeah.
different practices and all. So how would it be in Poland, or how would it be in Sweden? How would it be in Norway? And we like to hear those experiences from our speakers.
I know that this also works, of course, in the virtual world. I've been invited to different associations virtually also to talk about experiences and so on. So, but yeah, next time I'm in KL, I will make sure to, or somewhere else, I will make sure to reach out. And that goes for all of you who is watching this, of course. Do it. It's really nice. Cool. Okay. tell me about, we talked about some things that you were proud of and the whole generosity and so on. I came into a couple of things there. Are there any other challenges that you face now that you can share with the rest of us so we can get an idea of where you are?
Well, challenges, I
Opportunities
think,
for that matters. Yeah.
yeah, this challenge is possibly in almost every other association is succession. See, the
Succession.
association, yeah, the association is as good as the leadership that runs the show. At times, there's two challenges here. One is you need to have the people who will run the association, who's willing to sacrifice a little bit of their time and to put in the hours. It's a voluntary association. Yes, we do have an office and somebody who is paid. In Malaysia, we have a person who is a virtual assistant who looks into some of the details. But when it comes to the real part of engaging with our members, we still have to have our members doing it. So sacrificing or the volunteering the time would be a challenge. So that is one challenge. And the other challenge is finding the right people to run the association. That's another thing. So I'll unpack it. I'll address it separately. So one of the things that helped us in succession is something that we learned from our late president, our third president, the late Mr. PM Lau, Dr. PM Lau. So PM Lau, when he was a president, then he introduced this method of subcommittees, and he created many subcommittees. So what he did was every monthly event, that if you're running a monthly event, one executive committee is like in charge of it, but you pull a few members to come in. Hey, you know what? I need to form a subcommittee. We are having this event in July. One of the evening session is an in-person event. Can I have like two of you to help me out on that? So what happens is that you start noticing who are the ones who are willing to put in the time, who are the ones who are gung-ho about doing things for the association. They like the idea of being involved, and we get to see who would be the next leaders that we can identify. So that's how we manage the first part. The second part is something that is very important, because in every association, you want to have to create this thing called continuity. There should be some element of continuity. And I think even in GSF, we have seen that. And today, GSF has a slightly different structure than what it used to be about 15 years ago. So to ensure that there is clear succession in it, because the thing is, if the next leader comes in, at least they should have some idea about what this association is all about. What is what do they stand for? What do we do? What are the norms? At the same time, we don't want everyone to fall into a trap that we don't do things any other way. I think we want every leaders to stretch, push the boundaries a bit, but at least what you're pushing or what are you stretching on, so that we have that the philosophy of the association, what we stand for, we don't dilute that, and we want to make that even stronger. So those are the two challenges, and so far, as far as MAPS is concerned, I think it's well handled. We have leaders who are building on the strength of other leaders. If I see our current president, Sumadi, who's building on the previous leadership, Kesh, who built on previous leadership, Siva, who built on the previous leadership, Johan and Bawani, So it has been a I would say, thank God, thank goodness that everything is going well for MAPS right now.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let me go back to one thing that you said about the virtual assistant, that you have an employee or a consultant. Is that a full-time person, or is it like part-time, or what is it?
Okay, it is by a certain hours. So we sort of work out a deal with this person. How many hours are they going to do for MAPS? And she's good. And what she does is that we have an event and we need a poster. And the last thing to do is expecting any one of us speakers to come up with a poster, sitting in Canva and doing those design and all. So it's too much. So what we realize is that, can we take all the menial work administrative work and give it to somebody who we could pay a decent fee for it, and they will actually manage it. And so far, it's been doing very well because I was talking to one of our vice presidents, EP, and I was talking to him and he said, like, you know what? And he told me, if we were to ask one of our members to come up with a poster, it'll take us 2 weeks. But the fact that we have a virtual assistant, he could just send an email. Okay, these are the things, these are the speakers, and these are the topics done. And within a day, she could just generate a poster and it's already out. And we could start getting registration from members. So currently, it's not a full time. We work on a certain hours, but the hours are possibly adjusted whenever we have major events like our conference and all. Then we'll work on a case to case basis on special events like that.
There's something really great about that, and that is that, again, we're talking about engaging people to volunteer their time and so on, but the time is also limited. So by doing this, you free up a lot of things. I think it's a good strategy to have. I'm hoping that all of you who watches this take that to heart. If you don't have it, perhaps there's room for it, because all of us who volunteer our time want to do it with the best of our abilities, and perhaps creating a poster isn't one of them. One of them could be something else, of course.
So for us, one thing we tell our members or people who come into EXCO's executive committee, we tell them that once you're an executive committee of MAPS, allocate about 2 hours a week for MAPS. Okay, just allocate somewhere 2 hours a week, and it need not be a prime time. It could be one of those evenings. You're having a half an hour here or there, that you could do something for MAPS. And you know what? It's not going to be 2 hours every week. There are days where nothing is going on, so you won't even be spending 2 hours. The toughest job over there is actually the president's work. So I remember speaking to Cheryl Crane, former GSF president. And when she came to Malaysia, we had a one-on-one, a few of our executive committee, we had dinner with her. And she said that as a president, you're probably going to allocate about 4 hours a week for the association. And that means when you're taking on the top job, when you're leading an association, sometimes it's taking a little backseat in our own business. But the thing is, sometimes people look at it like, why should I even do that? But this is the magic of, I don't know how this works, but this is how it seems to be working. Your biggest growth happens after you leave that position of president. And this has been true for all our presidents of the past. The biggest business breaks comes a year later, 2 years later, after you've finished your term. That could be maybe your maturity in the market or the time you are in the market. And sometimes it's also the credibility that you build being the president of an association. And I feel that if people can just understand that there is a process to it, you will not get the benefit immediately, but the benefit will come, and you just have to trust it and do your part. And I'm sure it will somehow, the law of universe will come back. It will
really interesting to hear. And then you have some people who volunteer even more and join the GSF board as well, like you right now. What would you like GSF to do from now on and in the future to support you even more?
Well, one thing we believe GSF could do is that we have a lot of resources from our member associations. And some of these resources are just developed. They don't even know that how valuable those things are. And if we could actually create a hub whereby, someone from Malaysia, we would like to know how does India manage something, or how do they go about doing a certain event? We could actually go to this hub and get it. So including the fact that we have our own individual country, we are all having our own constitution. Could we have a library of constitutions of all the associations? So something that we could pull out from another association and say that, hey, you know what? Look at this. Singapore does this, or Philippines does this. Australia is doing it, South Africa is doing it in this way. So if we could have like a library of resources on how this could come together. And the other thing is that maybe not every virtual event, but some virtual event. I suggested to the board when there was this survey that was out, and I said that maybe every country could just volunteer to give 2 or 3 of their virtual events to be attended for free by any of our member GSF member associations. So if on that day I am available, or my some of our colleagues here are available, and we checked out, oh, South Africa is having an event and it's at 3 p.m. our local time, or 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. our local time. Oh, maybe we could just make time and register and join those events. So we could capitalize on the expertise and the know-hows from all other countries. In fact, one thing that Malaysia is doing very well, several years back, we launched the book project. So many of our members have successfully completed their book, because that's the biggest challenge. I'm guilty on that thing as well, where we start a book but we can't complete the book. So the book project is an event whereby it goes for 6 weeks, and we have a mentorship framework on how to ensure that you are able to complete your book and get that published within that short time. So if any countries would like to start a book project, get in touch with us. We will tell you how we went about doing it and how we were successful in getting our members to publish their books.
Massive value out of this conversation, Jega. Thank you so much. Is there anything I should have asked you that I forgot?
I think no, Anthony. You asked all the right question, and I hope I did not overshare or speak too much. But I think
no, you didn't. It was really good. It was really good. Very valuable, concrete things as well that I think all of us can benefit from. Yeah, okay. In that case, if there are no more questions, then I would say thank you so much for volunteering your time as well for this. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for this opportunity, Anthony.